everyone. I'm Cory. I'm based in New York, and I'm a parafencer.
I was injured in a cycling accident. I was riding around Brooklyn one day, and I was knocked off my bike by a parked car and run over by an SUV. My injury level is L3, so I was paralyzed from the waist down after my injury. Maneuvering through New York City has posed a few challenges. Sidewalks not being really even and stuff like that. Really high curbs sometimes, or curb cuts that are destroyed, so I have to hop the curb anyway. Kind of like parkour actually in my wheelchair. I've broken a few chairs. The process for my recovery was pretty intense. I spent about 3 months in inpatient rehab. Had a few surgeries during that time, so I was kind of always making progress and then getting set back because of surgery. So it was always kind of like restarting, which gets frustrating, but I feel like the more you do it, the easier it gets. I definitely had a positive outlook, even though I was told I'd never walk again. I really had a mindset that like, okay, so if that's what it's gonna be, then I need to like really fight hard to like define my independence and who I'm gonna be in my wheelchair. So being in the sports after my injury was pretty easy. When I was first injured and I was at Mount Sinai for inpatient, I met their outreach coordinator who had this life challenge program where you could like try different events, whether it was sailing or water skiing. I think the first one I went to was water skiing. And I really liked that. I enjoyed it. It was a way to just have a lot of fun. Fencing was actually something I'd always wanted to do, but I was always kind of either too far or just couldn't afford to do it. And I eventually became good friends with fencers. One of them, who's one of my closest friends now, went to the Olympics in Tokyo. And so during COVID, when they closed the fencing clubs and he still had to train, I was like, maybe I can get some lessons, learn how to fence, buy my own gear and stuff. I was paralyzed later that year and he came to visit me. And I was like, well, I guess there goes fencing, and kind of like jokingly. He was like, not exactly. So he told me, whenever I got to the hospital, come by the fencing club, and I started fencing. It was a great hobby I picked up, and I started getting funds to travel and compete. And I was never really competitive prior to my injury. I didn't really care for sports that much. Outside of competing, meeting my teammates and learning new people in the sport has really grown my community, which after something like this was really important to me to kind of have people I could relate to. So that was kind of an avenue for that. And then I also realized that it was a more fun setting to get my physical therapy. These things help my core a lot. I'm getting leg strength back, so it's helping me build on my leg strength. I've done tennis, water skiing, mono skiing, which is in the snow. I've done wakeboarding, adaptive rock climbing, sailing. I count that as a sport. Oh, and WCMX, which is wheelchairs in the skate park. I found sports I was just give them all to me, Big moment for me was my first time going to the Colorado Training Center. For me, I've never seen myself as an athlete, so it's kind of been imposter syndrome this whole time. Like I said, I've broken a lot of chairs in the city. This one I'm in now, I broke once, but got it repaired. I really look forward to having a new ride to test out. One of my friends actually has 2 of these, and I've always wanted one, so it's I'm always oh, I gotta try that out. So yeah, now I have my own. Virtual consultation with Ed and Tyra was really good. So it was mostly really talking about what things I needed from the chair, kind of going through the different features of the chair, what we're able to kind of change and edit to make it the best chair for me. I like being able to customize things as opposed to just oh, let me get the large one. And that's it. Yeah. One thing I want to say about getting to adaptive sports is that it's opened me up to ways to have fun, recover, find purpose, and find community. Finding that very early in my injury has made it so much easier. And having sports get you out the house, doing something, and meeting community are key.